Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, you did what? And it's my fault? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. You did what? And it's my fault? Recently made a comment about this, and I wanted to flesh it out into a story format and keep the back and forth convos to a minimum this time around. Any names are fake or redacted. Cast. Me. At $third-party customer tech. Tom, underling that I outranked by 6 months. Prologue and backstory. I worked for a cloud filing cabinet, and almost everyone who knew anything had quit the customer team, leaving me with less than 1 year experience in a lead role without lead pay. The company is very sink or swim with years of documentation and programs that are documented down to 1,000 separate errors that can take anywhere from 8 hours to 1 month to resolve and install. Tom has been working on an install for 3 weeks and nearly had it done after 2 weeks of effort. Just to find out that the particular install he was following along was for a defunct customer with the same name, which forced him to restart. All the while he has to have a team viewer session through a Zoom call due to security requirements by the customer's third-party IT. He worked for another week and only needed to fix some janky ODBCs, and the job was done. When the unthinkable happened. Day 1. I'm in the middle of trying to figure out a Yanked configuration that is causing CEO billing documents to go through the lower peon workflows for approval when Tom comes up to my desk, huffing and puffing with anger and literal tears rolling down his cheeks. I list off 6 or 8 reasons/people that could have caused such a reaction. I'm pretty much the only person that deals with those problems due to my cynical nature that mostly made me numb to the pain. It's gone. No. No. What do you mean it's gone, Tom? They deleted program? No. They and $hashtag. Nuke the computer, man. I get the rundown on what it $has done. Has been very rude for the past 3 weeks. Undoing some of Tom's work. Making Tom connect through 2 remote connections, slowing everything to a crawl. Refusing to relinquish control of the computer to Tom. Actively crap-talking Tom as he fixes a horribly complex billing program for a large company that can't pay its people. Upon getting everything set up and connected, Tom found that he no longer had any of his install files available, none of his saved configurations are available, and the legacy coding is gone. He starts to freak out when a just drops that the computer he'd been working on got scrapped as part of routine upgrades. Fun fact. This particular version of billing system only works on Windows 7. Bonus, that was the last Windows 7 machine in the company. But I nor Tom know either of these facts yet. Being the brash, bold leader that I am, I tell Tom to go whine to the account managers to get it off the case and explain what's going down. 1 hour later. Ding, a new ticket is in your queue. Damn. Summoned by Satan himself, I find the account manager standing by my desk with a very sorry-looking face and an unopened can of caffeine in his hand. Hey, Absinthe. No. Come on. No. Boss, do it. Me, $+ and CEO that I forgot was on the phone. What was that? After smoothing things out with the CEO, I toss their fire in the fire and lay out a list of demands based on what I know of the situation. I only work with the machine directly. No middleman that I dictate orders to. My timeline doesn't get questioned due to the other plates I'm spinning. Third-party IT must make an effort to restore the machine. Account manager buys my lunch and dinner since I'm going to be here late into the night. Due to playing hardball and the customer not being able to pay their employees, my demands are mostly met. I'm told there's no way to get the machine back, it has been shredded, but I do get full access to the machine through third party's custom version of TeamViewer. It is admittedly very nice. Tom immediately throws a fit considering how much time was wasted beforehand due to the other ways he had to work on the machine. One of the perks of being the sickly heir of the dead king. I get to work and work. And work. And work. Too much caffeine is consumed, unhealthy food clogs my system, but by about 2 a.m. I have the shell installed, and the internal shell set up to fill with code the next day. Turns out the third-party TeamViewer only works on a 24-hour basis, and I have to request new access every time. Which usually takes about 6 hours before I hear back. At one point I double-asked and was told to hold my horses by $1. Day 2.5. Eventually I get access again in time to work on the system, transplanting ancient Frankenstein code into the right places and pointing them in the proper spots. Everything is working in the test environment. I just need to activate the license. Check the ticket for license information and input it. License in use. Please decommission license from previous machine to use. Call up program support. I get them to cancel the license remotely, and I try to activate the license again. Error 109875.3a.b. That's not good. A day is wasted on research and support calls, during which I find out that my company had stopped paying program support and that I was on my own. Yay for cost savings. Day 3-ish. I keep going, beating my head against this brick wall, and eventually find out that the license information was for a different company and was filed in the wrong place. Meaning that two companies now have bricked systems. Different problem for a different tech. In doing this, I'm being a terrible person and calling program support as if I'm working on one of the other customers that still has actively paid for program support. Eventually I find out that error 109875.3a.b is a version incompatibility between license, program, and OS. I beg and plead with program support to help me find a way get this system working, and they're being total brothers. Turns out there's an automated upgrade in version x.x.x.a.c which we are licensed to use, and company has version x.x.x.a. which can upgrade without breaking. Everything looks up until I get a call from higher up in the program billing department that had been tracking my calls and license requests. They kiboshed my dreams and said that the back pay for support had to be paid to get this upgrade. $20,000. I work with our accountant to purchase a new license for program so that we don't have to deal with the back pay of unpaid support. And the request gets denied due to, bill dodging. Unless my company shelled out $20,000, we were unable to get the upgraded license. Meanwhile, as I'm scheming and being a dirty birdie to try and save this customer's business, it turns out that both the third-party IT and the customer had gotten mad that I couldn't pull literal magic out of their computers. Day 4. Probably too much caffeine. At $, pulled together every email address that he could, including my CEO, the customer's CEO, the head of IT, my boss, the account manager, and a group of people that I didn't know and I assumed were his bosses. Absinthe has been working on this system for a whole month and it hasn't gotten fixed. This is unacceptable for tech support. I saw red. I think I scared my coworkers as I picked up my monitor and shook it. Tom, being the paranoid guy that he is, had taken recordings of his interactions with $, and how he had been disobeying Tom, giving him the runaround and generally being a nuisance. Tom gladly sent me a copy that I put into Dropbox and shared the link with everyone on that chain. Added was an explanation that this had almost been done at the 3-week mark when the machine suddenly went missing. And that a lot of that 3 weeks was $, not responding to emails, and then enforcing horrible connection processes that slowed us down further. That proper documentation of the machine and its code had never been stored by the third party that was decommissioning machines that were active projects. And that further research had shown that decomming the Windows 7 machine invalidated the license and made it impossible to install without a $20,000 fee being paid to program company. I never got a response from that email chain, I was immediately taken off of the ticket, and I never heard from $1 again. What ended up happening was that the account manager convinced the customer to instead spend the $20K on implementing a custom solution to get them up and running, which they were desperate enough to do, even though in the end that particular blame was on us. So far as I know, the customer is still running on a much easier to support system that doesn't involve a third-party program that is an absolute at $$ and to install.